laws in thermodynamics. And their applications. Various laws. The first law is called zeroth law. Second law is first law of thermodynamics. Then there is third law, that is called second law of thermodynamics. And then third law. These are the various laws in thermodynamics. Zeroth law, the first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, and third law of thermodynamics. Zeroth law of thermodynamics states that if there are three systems, A, B and C, between the system A and B there is insulated wall, heat exchange is not possible between the system A and B. They are separated by insulated wall, no heat exchange between A and B. Then there is a conducting wall. This is a conducting wall. C is third system. Between A and C, heat exchange is possible through this conducting wall. Similarly, between B and C, heat exchange is possible through this conducting wall. But heat exchange between A and B is not possible. Now, if these two systems, A and B, separately are in thermal equilibrium with the third system C, then according to zeroth law, A and B should also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. Which means A and C are in thermal equilibrium, B and C are in thermal equilibrium, then A and B should also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. Now, what do you mean by thermal equilibrium? There are three types of equilibrium: thermal equilibrium, chemical equilibrium, and mechanical equilibrium. You might have studied in your chemistry chemical equilibrium. If there is a reversible process, the chemical reaction goes forward and backward simultaneously. Okay, then the rate of forward reaction, if it is equal to rate of reverse reaction, then chemical reaction is said to be in chemical equilibrium with each other. Then mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium means in mechanics, if a body is under the effect of many forces and no force is able to produce any change in the body, then body is said to be in mechanical equilibrium. Resultant of all the forces acting on the body is zero. No force is able to produce any change in the body. Then we'll say the body is in mechanical equilibrium. But we have to deal with thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium means the two systems are at the same temperature. When you say A and C are in thermal equilibrium, which will mean temperature of the system A and temperature of system C, they are equal. Equality of temperature is the necessary and sufficient condition for two systems to be in thermal equilibrium with each other. दो सिस्टम थर्मल इक्विलिब्रियम में तब माने जाते हैं जब दोनों का टेम्परेचर सेम हो. मान लीजिए आप शेक हैंड करते हैं, दो ह्यूमन बॉडी, when they are shaking hand, both are at the same temperature, normal temperature 98.4 degree Fahrenheit, no heat exchange. Okay, तो किसी को वार्म नहीं लगता, किसी को कोल्ड नहीं लगता. तो इक्वलिटी ऑफ टेम्परेचर है, तो हम जितनी देर भी हाथ में ला के रखेंगे हम कहेंगे दिस इज ए थर्मल इक्विलिब्रियम बिटवीन टू ह्यूमन बीइंग. टेम्परेचर सेम है. एंड इफ देयर इज ए टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस एंड देन यू मेक ए connection, then heat transfer will take place. So whichever will lose it will feel cold. Okay, so whichever will gain heat will become warmer, hotter. तो उसको ऐसा लगेगा कि हम गर्म हो गए. तो when I say A is in thermal equilibrium with C, it will mean temperature of A is equal to temperature of C. Two systems will be in thermal equilibrium only if their temperature are same. Then I say B and C are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. So if the temperature of the system C is B and B is in thermal equilibrium with system C, it will mean TB is also equal to TC. And from these two equations, you can have TA is equal to BB. From equation 1 and 2, you will get TA is equal to TB. What do you mean by this? The temperature of A and B same, which will mean A and B are also in thermal equilibrium with each other, because equality of temperature is the necessary and sufficient condition for two systems to be in thermal equilibrium with each other. So what is zeroth law? If two systems A and B are separately in thermal equilibrium with the third system C, then A and B should also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. A C के साथ thermal equilibrium में है, which means temperature equal है दोनों का. B C के साथ thermal equilibrium में है, which will mean B और C का temperature same है. According to zeroth law, then A and B should also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. That means temperature of system A and temperature of the system B should also be equal. The zeroth law says that if two systems A and B separately are in thermal equilibrium with the third system C, then A and B should also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. जैसे हम कहते हैं ना A और C दोस्त है, B भी C का दोस्त है, फिर कहते हैं A और B भी दोस्त होने चाहिए, क्योंकि A C का दोस्त है, B भी C का दोस्त है. तो C ने कोई फंक्शन किया और A और B दोनों को बुलाया हो तो इनकी दोस्ती करा दी हो. ऐसा हो सकता है ना डेली लाइफ में. तो ये फर्स्ट zeroth law of thermodynamics ये कह रहा है कि there are two systems A and B, though they are insulated from each other, heat exchange is not possible between A and B, but A is in thermal equilibrium with C. Why? Because A and C, they are in contact with each other. This is a conducting wire. Heat can be transferred from A to C or C to A. Clear? So when you make a communication between two systems, through a conducting wire, then heat exchange will be possible and heat transfer will take place till temperature of both become same. जब भी डिफरेंट टेम्परेचर के बॉडी को कम्युनिकेट किया जाएगा थ्रू कंडक्टिंग वायर, तो अगर टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस होगा हीट फ्लो करेगा. कब तक करेगा? जब तक कि दोनों का कॉमन टेम्परेचर नहीं हो जाता. इसलिए ए और सी इक्विलिब्रियम में है. इसका मतलब टेम्परेचर ऑफ सिस्टम ए इज इक्वल टू टेम्परेचर ऑफ सिस्टम सी. Then B is also in thermal equilibrium is C, which means temperature of B is equal to temperature of C. So you have got these two equations. Equating these two, you will get TA is equal to TB. TA is equal to TB means A and B are in thermal equilibrium with each other. So this is called zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay. Then the first law, it's very important law, first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics says if you add certain amount of heat to a system, this is system with parameter P, V and T, then you add amount of heat to the system. Let us say system is contained in a cylinder which is fitted with a piston. Piston rod is there. Okay, this bottom is conducting. You can add heat through the bottom. If dQ is the amount of heat added to the system, then system will make use of this heat energy in two different ways. A part of this heat energy will be used in increasing the internal energy. Part of this heat supplied will be used by the system in increasing its internal energy, and the rest of the heat will be used in performing work against the external pressure. Whenever you are supplying heat to a system, temperature of the system rises, and temperature is directly linked with internal energy of the system. Okay, internal energy of the system, you know, du by dt is equal to Cv. Cv is molar specific heat at constant volume. Cv is that amount of heat which is used to increase the temperature of 1 mole of the gas by 1 Kelvin. 1 mole, okay, उसका टेम्परेचर 1 केल्विन बढ़ाना है, जितनी हीट चाहिए उसको Cv बोलते हैं. You know this relation, dQ is equal to m into C into dt, change in temperature. You have a system with mass m. Okay, then you want to change the temperature of the system from T1 to T2, depending upon the nature of the system. If system is let us suppose an ideal gas, you take m gram. Okay, or otherwise you can take system in the form of solid or liquid or gas. आपने चाय का कप बनाना है, पानी रखते हैं केटल में, फायर करते हैं और इमीडिएटली पानी गर्म होने लगता है. What do you mean by that? टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होने लग जाता है. और टेम्परेचर से क्या होता है? जब हीट सप्लाई किया, हीट एनर्जी है, तो सिस्टम के जो मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं, जब उनको एनर्जी मिलती है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ हीट, तो दे स्टार्ट मूविंग विगरसली, उनकी स्पीड बढ़ जाती है, काइनेटिक एनर्जी बढ़ जाती है. और टोटल internal energy is sum of all the energies. Sum of all the energies of the system is called internal energy, denoted by U. It is internal energy. Sum of all types of energies. Mainly, the energy of gas is by virtue of temperature. It is mainly kinetic energy. And then you can have potential energy of the system also. The kinetic energy is by virtue of motion. And the constituent of the gas, molecules of the gas, the particle of the system, they may have translational motion, they may have rotation motion, they may have vibration motion. Because of translation motion, vibration motion, rotation motion, energy possessed by the system will be kinetic. Kinetic is by virtue of motion. Motion may be translational, vibrational, rotational. And potential energy is by virtue of position. If certain particles of the system are in the state of rest, then by virtue of their position they may have potential energy also. But internal energy is sum of all types of energies. Mainly it is kinetic energy. If you see the kinetic theory of gases, there is one assumption. Energy possessed by the gas is totally kinetic. Why? Because molecules of the gas are in the state of continuous random motion. No molecule is in the state of rest. The gas doesn't possess potential energy. Okay, an ideal gas has totally kinetic energy. Because all molecules are in the state of continuous random motion. No molecule is in the state of rest. Therefore, the total energy, total internal energy possessed by the gas is kinetic. This kinetic may be because of the different types of motions. Translation, vibration, rotational. And this kinetic energy has a relation with temperature. The change of internal energy with the temperature. The rate of change of internal energy with the temperature, that is Cv. That is molar specific heat at constant volume. That is the amount of heat required to change the temperature of 1 mole of the gas by 1 Kelvin, keeping volume constant. And Cv is equal to du by dt. That means internal energy is directly related to temperature. If you change the temperature, there will be change in the internal energy. Clear? So therefore, the first law of thermodynamics says that heat added to the system will be utilized by the system in two ways. A part of this energy will be used in increasing the internal energy. Means when you supply heat, there will be change in temperature. When you are adding heat, there will be increase in temperature. And when you are extracting heat, removing it from the system, there will be decrease in temperature. There will be decrease in temperature means there will be decrease in the internal energy. टेम्परेचर कम होने से मॉलिक्यूलर मोशन कम हो जाएगी. तो 0 केल्विन टेम्परेचर पे आपको पता मॉलिक्यूलर मोशन रुक जाती है. 0 केल्विन टेम्परेचर पॉसिबल नहीं है. ठीक है ना. तो दिस एनर्जी विच इज इंटरनल एनर्जी is related to temperature. You change the temperature, there will be change in the internal energy. Okay, and this change in energy with respect to temperature is given by this relation. So therefore, when you are adding heat, there will be change in the temperature. It will cause change in the internal energy. And if some heat is left, then system will do work. And you know work done, yesterday I told you work done is P into dV. Work is done only when there is a change in volume. When you are adding heat, temperature is increasing, then there will be expansion. Things expand on heating. You contact on cooling. When you are adding heat, when you are supplying heat to the system is ideal gas, let us suppose. It may be liquid also, solid also. The thing they expand on heating. Okay. An expansion in case of gas is large. Expansion in case of solid is small. There are different types of expansion, you know, linear expansion, superficial expansion, volumetric expansion. So here, talking about gas, there will be change in volume. There will be volumetric expansion. Okay, so when heat is added, temperature will rise, and with the increase in temperature, internal energy which will change, and the gas will expand, piston will move out, but there is external pressure also. The piston will go out against the external pressure. And when there is a movement in the piston, work is said to be done. Definition of work. Work is said to be done when force produces motion. When force produces displacement. तो जब आप हीट ऐड कर रहे हैं, टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है, टेम्परेचर बढ़ने से इंटरनल एनर्जी बढ़ रही है, इंटरनल एनर्जी बढ़ने के साथ साथ फिर एक एक्सपेंशन भी हो सकती है. जब चाय बनाते पानी लेते, पानी आग पे रखते तो पहले तो टेम्परेचर बढ़ता है, ओके, उसके बाद बॉइलिंग शुरू होती है, चेंज इन वॉल्यूम की तब बात होती है. सॉलिड को भी अगर हीट करते हैं पहले टेम्परेचर बढ़ता है, फिर कहीं मेल्टिंग की बात होती है. तो जब आप हीट सप्लाई करेंगे तो पहले सबसे पहले हो सकता है कि टेम्परेचर बढ़े, उससे इंटरनल एनर्जी चेंज हो, और उसके बाद फिर मेल्टिंग बॉइलिंग, ओके, या उसके बाद एक्सपेंशन की बात होती है. और एक्सपेंशन मीन्स चेंज इन वॉल्यूम, चेंज इन वॉल्यूम मीन्स वर्क डन. First law of thermodynamics says heat added to the system is used by the system in two different ways. A part of the energy is used by the system in increasing its internal energy. The rest of the energy will be used by the system in performing work against external pressure. The system is always contained in a vessel. System is always contained in a vessel. System is always closed. आप चाहे बनानी है, पानी लेते हैं, पानी आप किसी कंटेनर में ही लेंगे ना, सिस्टम क्लोज कर दिया ना, कैटल में लिया या किसी और कंटेनर में लिया तो सिस्टम क्लोज हो गया, उसकी बाउंड्री फिक्स हो गई. तो सिमिलरली यहाँ भी you have taken a system in a cylinder and you are supplying heat through the bottom which is conducting, then this heat will be used by the system in two ways. कुछ हीट यानी 50-50, कुछ हीट. Sometimes what happens? If your system is in process, system is in process means out of these three parameters, if any parameter changes or all may change, then we say the system is in process. And you have studied various thermodynamical processes. One process is isochoric. What happens in that? Volume remains constant. When volume is constant, there is no change in volume. When there is no change in volume, no work. And when there is no work, then all heat will be utilized by the system in increasing its internal energy only. दूसरा काम नहीं होगा. Therefore, it will depend upon which process you are dealing with. Especially for isochoric process in which volume has to be kept constant. Volume is constant, then there will be variation between P and T on supplying heat. So to such a system, when you want process, isochoric process, then you supply heat to the system. Then entire heat will be used by the system in increasing its internal energy. No work will be done because volume has to be kept constant. तो इसलिए जरूरी नहीं है कि हमेशा ये दोनों ही काम हो. Get my point? तो फर्स्ट सलाह ये कह रहा है कि heat added to the system is used by the system in two different ways. Part of this heat energy is utilized by the system in increasing its internal energy, and the rest of the heat energy will be utilized by the system in doing work against the external pressure. Okay, if you apply the first law of thermodynamics to various processes, for example, you are dealing with isothermal process. If you are dealing with isothermal process, you know what happens? Temperature is constant. There is no change in temperature. When there is no change in temperature, no change in the internal energy, du will be 0 when there is no change in temperature. And for isothermal process, temperature has to be kept constant. The change in temperature is not allowed. And when there is no change in temperature, there is no change in the internal energy. So in that case, du will be 0. And if you apply first law of thermodynamics, dq is equal to du plus dw. Now this is 0. So whatever heat you are supplying is being utilized by the system in doing work against the external pressure only. दूसरा काम नहीं हो रहा.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are well familiar with different types of processes: isothermal, adiabatic, isochoric, isobaric, even reversible, irreversible, cyclic process. In our last lecture, we did these things. So now we are using first law of thermodynamics to various processes. The first process, isothermal process, in which temperature is kept constant, dt is 0, and according to this relation, when dt is 0, then du is 0. When du is 0, then first law will take this shape, dq is equal to dw. What do you mean by this? The heat added to the system,
Is used for
entire heat will be used in doing work against the external pressure.
Yes, sir.
No change in the internal energy. Got my point? Now if you apply this first law of thermodynamics to adiabatic process, the process is adiabatic. Second, adiabatic process. What happens in adiabatic? In adiabatic process, heat addition is not allowed. This container will be put on insulated stand. Okay, this is a stand which is insulated. No heat is allowed to enter the system, and even no heat will be allowed to leave. So first law, dq du plus dw. For adiabatic process, no heat is allowed to leave or enter. You cannot add heat, you cannot remove it from the system.
Yes, sir.
That means dq is 0. When dq is 0, then you will have du plus dw is equal to 0. Okay? And this dw will be equal to minus du. And you know du is equal to Cv into dt. So dw will be minus Cv into dt. Okay? You are not adding heat to the system. Even you are not removing heat from the system. So without adding heat, you are changing the temperature. You are changing the internal energy. कैसे? By doing work. जब हवा भरते साइकिल में तो you have a cylinder, cycle pump consisting of a cylinder, then there is a piston, then piston rod and handle. You do work. Okay, then there is a compression. Air is pressed and is compelled to open the valve and enter into the tube of the cycle. You are doing work, huh? Okay, and if this work is fast, then what you find? The pump gets heated up.
Yes, sir.
Where from it has got heat?
Pressure increase.
This heat pump has got from work which you have done on the pump. And you know this relation, work can be converted into heat and heat can be converted into work. Work and heat, they are interconvertible.
Yes, sir.
So by doing work on the system, you can generate heat. This is what you are doing in that case. You are performing work on the pump. Okay, if it is isothermal, this process will be very, very slow. But if it is adiabatic, it will be fast. Okay, make Stokes fast and high frequency. बार बार लगातार पंप गर्म हो जाता है. तो बिना हीट सप्लाई गर्म हो गया. ये कैसे? वर्क इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू हीट. तो यहाँ वर्क किया जा रहा है उससे इंटरनल एनर्जी चेंज हो रही है, इंटरनल भी टेम्परेचर चेंज हो रहा है. ओके,
Yes, sir.
तो इफ यू वांट हाउ मच टोटल वर्क इज डन, इसको इंटीग्रेट कर दो. If you change the temperature from T1 to T2 by performing work without supplying heat, then you will get this minus Cv and then integration of dt is T, then you apply the limits, so ultimately you will get this relation. Apply the limits. So first upper limit T2 minus T1, then take minus sign inside. Then you will get total work when you change the temperature from T1 to T2, not by supplying heat, but by performing work on the system.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Then, if you take the third process is isochoric. In isochoric process, volume is kept constant, change in volume is zero, and you know dW is P into dV, it will mean dW will be zero. Then the first law of thermodynamics will take the shape dQ is equal to du plus dW. This is zero, so dQ will be equal to du. Means whatever heat is being added to the system, entire heat is being used in increasing the internal energy of the system. Entire heat energy. Okay? Because the work done in this case is zero. So, if you apply first law of thermodynamics to the fourth process, that is isobaric. In isobaric process, pressure is kept constant. Change in pressure is not allowed. First law is dQ is equal to du plus dW or P into dV. dQ is not zero. You can add heat, you can remove heat. Temperature is not kept constant. Therefore, when temperature will change, internal energy will change. Okay? So this is also not zero. The pressure is constant, change in volume is allowed. This item will also remain. Nothing will vanish out of these three terms of the first law. You can add heat, you can remove heat from the system, you can change the temperature. When you are adding heat, there will be change in temperature. It will cause change in the internal energy. Okay, regarding work done, pressure is constant, not volume. Change in volume is allowed, expansion, contraction is allowed. So therefore, this will not be zero, this will not be zero, and even this is not zero. So first law will take this shape, complete first law. Okay. Now if you apply first law of thermodynamics to another process, which is melting process. Melting is a change of state from solid to liquid. Okay, we want only melting, change of state. Otherwise, heat energy can do two things. Heat energy can change the temperature, it can change the state. Heat energy can change the temperature of the substance, it can change the state of the system. change is from solid to liquid or from liquid to solid. Similarly, from liquid to vapor or from vapor to liquid. Solid to liquid change is called melting. And when liquid is changed into solid, it is called freezing, condensation. तो नहीं कहते, फ्रीजिंग बोलते हैं. जैसे पानी का बर्फ बनाना, पानी लिक्विड स्टेट में है, बर्फ सॉलिड स्टेट में है, ये रिवर्स प्रोसेस चल रही है. और आइस का पिघलना, आइस सॉलिड है, पिघल के पानी बनेगा, तो सॉलिड टू लिक्विड, चेंज ऑफ स्टेट, आइस टू वाटर. ओके, देयरफॉर heat energy is doing two jobs. It can change the temperature, it can change the state. In the previous case, you have studied that without supplying heat, you can change the temperature. बिना heat energy के भी आप temperature change कर सकते हैं by making use of this. Do work on the system, work will get converted into heat. ठीक है, लेकिन हम तो ले रहे हैं कि हीट एनर्जी क्या कर सकती है. हीट एनर्जी किसी भी सब्सटेंस को अगर दी जाएगी तो उसका टेम्परेचर चेंज होगा. टेम्परेचर बढ़ सकता है अगर हीट ऐड करोगे, टेम्परेचर घट जाएगा अगर उससे हीट ले लोगे. फिर चेंज ऑफ स्टेट है मेल्टिंग, बॉइलिंग, ये भी बिना हीट के नहीं हो सकती. लेकिन चेंज ऑफ स्टेट में दो केसेस हैं, सॉलिड टू लिक्विड, लिक्विड टू वेपर, एंड reverse also. The heat energy cannot bring about these two changes simultaneously. When you supply heat to a system, if temperature is changing, there will be no change in state. These two changes cannot take place simultaneously. Remember, जब आप किसी सॉलिड को या किसी सब्सटेंस को हीट दे रहे हैं, उसका टेम्परेचर चेंज हो रहा है, स्टेट चेंज नहीं हो रही. लेकिन एक बार अगर स्टेट चेंज शुरू हो गई, तो चेंज ऑफ स्टेट टेक्स प्लेस एट ए पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर. दिस चेंज ऑफ स्टेट फ्रॉम सॉलिड टू लिक्विड will occur only at one particular temperature, that is called melting point. And when reverse, liquid to solid, freezing point. Every solid has got its fixed melting point. For example, ice melts at 0 degree. If you are given ice at -5 degree and you supply heat, though you are supplying heat to ice melting point is 0 degree, but ice given to you is of -5 degree Celsius, and now you supply heat. What will happen? There cannot be melting. Ice will not melt at -5. It will melt at only 0 degree. Melting point for every solid is fixed. So now you have to decide what will happen out of these two. If ice is at -5 degree and then you supply heat, melting will not take place at -5 degree. Therefore, there will be change of temperature. Change of temperature, if you keep on supplying heat, change of temperature from minus degree to 0 degree. Once ice gets 0 degree temperature, melting will start. And now if you keep on supplying heat, there will be no change in temperature. There will be only change of state. Unless entire ice melts, there cannot be change of temperature. जब तक एक काम पूरा नहीं हो जाता, दूसरा काम नहीं शुरू होगा. हीट एनर्जी दो काम करती है, दोनों काम इकट्ठे नहीं कर सकती. At a time, either change of temperature or change of state. And change of state is possible only at a fixed temperature. Change of state either during melting or during boiling. Every solid has fixed melting point, every liquid has fixed boiling point. For example, you take ice, melting point is 0 degree Celsius, boiling point is 100 degree Celsius. If you are supplying water For example, you are preparing a cup of tea. You are taking tap water at room temperature. Okay, and in this room today, let us suppose temperature is 20 degree. And you take water from the tap, water is at 20 degrees Celsius, put it on fire, supply heat. First of all, what will happen?
Change the temperature.
There will be change in temperature from 22 onward.
100 degree.
When temperature reaches 100 degree, boiling will start. When boiling starts, change of state from liquid to steam. It will take a fixed temperature, that is boiling point. Boiling point is 100 degree.
Yes, sir.
Water will not boil even if temperature is 99.9 degrees Celsius. But when temperature reaches 100 degree, immediately change of temperature will stop. Change of state will start. And when entire water gets converted into steam, temperature will remain at 100 degree. When entire water is converted to steam, you will get steam at 100 degree. Now if you keep on supplying heat, the temperature of steam will rise. क्योंकि स्टेट तो चेंज हो चुकी है, वाटर टू स्टीम कंप्लीट हो चुकी प्रोसेस. ओके, और उसके बाद फिर सुपर हीटेड स्टीम मिलेगी. अगर आप ये ग्राफ प्लॉट करते हैं, इधर आप टेम्परेचर लेते हैं, इधर आप हीट सप्लाई करते हैं. ओके, तो हीट सप्लाई करते समय पहले देयर विल बी चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर, and then if there is a melting point, then change in temperature will stop. टेम्परेचर बढ़ना बंद हो जाएगा, मेल्टिंग पे मेल्टिंग स्टार्ट हो चुकी है. और इमीडिएटली तो मेल्टिंग विल नॉट बी कंप्लीट. When melting starts, then two states will coexist, solid and liquid. आइस है, मेल्ट करनी शुरू हो गई, पानी भी आइस भी है, दो स्टेट इकट्ठी चल रही है, दो फेजेस इकट्ठी चल रही है. और जब कंप्लीट मेल्टिंग कंप्लीट हो जाएगी, फिर टेम्परेचर बढ़ना शुरू होगा. अब हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हो, मेल्टिंग यहाँ खत्म हो चुकी है, यहाँ मेल्टिंग शुरू हुई थी, यहाँ मेल्टिंग इज ओवर. एंड फॉर दिस टू दिस पीरियड देयर इज अ कोएक्सिस्टेंस ऑफ टू फेजेस, solid and liquid. Now here melting is complete. Substance will be in the solid, in the liquid form only. Solid पूरा मेल्ट कर चुका है. Then आप हीट सप्लाई करते जा रहे हैं. Change of temperature will start till boiling point. From O to A, temperature is rising. From A to B, melting started at A, finished at B. Between A and B, two phases. Okay. Now from B, melting, this temperature is rising till this boiling point is attained. Then when boiling starts, temperature will stop rising. Liquid and vapor, they will coexist from this to this state. When there is a complete boiling, then again temperature will start rising. Clear? Now I am taking melting process only. Melting will start at A, will finish at B, and I have told you when you supply heat energy according to first law of thermodynamics, this heat will be utilized by the system in two different ways. एक तो टेम्परेचर बढ़ने का काम होगा और दूसरा वर्क डन होगा. अब हमने वेरियस प्रोसेसेस में फर्स्ट लॉ लगाया. अब हमारे पास प्रोसेस चल रही है मेल्टिंग. मेल्टिंग इज ए फिनोमेना इन विच व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, देयर इज अ चेंज ऑफ स्टेट फ्रॉम सॉलिड टू लिक्विड एट फिक्स्ड टेम्परेचर. दैट फिक्स्ड टेम्परेचर इज कॉल्ड मेल्टिंग पॉइंट. This temperature is called melting point. When solid is being converted into liquid, this is a change of state from solid to liquid. This takes place at a fixed temperature, that is melting point. When there is a change of state, there cannot be change of temperature. And when there is a change of temperature, there cannot be change of state. Change of temperature and change of state cannot take place at the same time. Remember. Got my point? And if there is a change of temperature, how much heat is required? You will get from this. Q is equal to mass, specific heat, change in temperature. This is heat given to a substance of mass m. Temperature changes through dt, delta T. C is the specific heat. But when there is a change of state, then you will get this heat by this formula. Q is equal to m into L. Here, in this formula, temperature is not occurring. Because during melting or boiling, during change of state, there is no change of temperature. Change in temperature is 0. Okay? To mass, then L. L is called latent heat. And latent heat, there will be two latent heats because there are two phases where change of state will take place from solid to liquid or liquid to vapor. Okay, so therefore there will be two latent heats. One latent heat is called latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion. And this is a latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of fusion of ice. Latent heat of fusion of ice is 80 calorie per gram. What do you mean by this? If you have 1 gram ice at 0 degree and you supply 80 calorie of heat, you will get 1 gram water at 0 degree. If you look at this conversion, there is no change in temperature. Okay? There is only change of state from ice to water. Change of state will be at constant temperature. And this change of state is at melting point, this change of state is at boiling point. Melting and boiling point, these are two well-defined temperatures. Every solid has its own well-defined melting point. Every liquid has its own distinct, well-defined boiling point. Water boils at 100 degree. 100 से पहले वो बॉयल ही नहीं करेगा, चेंज ऑफ स्टेट पॉसिबल नहीं है। उससे पहले तो आप हीट सप्लाई करोगे तो चेंज इन टेम्परेचर होगा। अब 100 डिग्री टेम्परेचर पे आप हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हो, 100 पे तो बॉइलिंग शुरू हो चुकी है, चेंज ऑफ स्टेट हो रही है, वाटर टू स्टीम, टेम्परेचर 100 पे फिक्स हो जाएगा। थर्मामीटर विल फेल टू रिकॉर्ड। ओके, दैट्स व्हाई जो हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हो, जैसे चेंज ऑफ स्टेट हो रही है, चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर तो रिकॉर्ड करता है थर्मामीटर। जब आप चेंज ऑफ स्टेट शुरू कर दिया, चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर रुक गया, थर्मामीटर के पास हीट नहीं पहुंच रही, वो चेंज इन टेम्परेचर नहीं दिखा रहा, क्योंकि चेंज इन टेम्परेचर हो ही नहीं रहा। और आप हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हो, वो हीट क्या कर रही है, वो छुप छुप के चेंज ऑफ स्टेट कर रही है। तभी उसका नाम रख दिया लेटेंट। लेटेंट मीन्स हिडन। छुप छुप के उसने थर्मामीटर को पता नहीं लगने दिया और चेंज ऑफ स्टेट उसने शुरू कर दी। थर्मामीटर रिकॉर्ड नहीं कर पा रहा चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर। थर्मामीटर का काम तो टेम्परेचर को रिकॉर्ड करना है, लेकिन टेम्परेचर तो फिक्स हो चुका है, चेंज ऑफ स्टेट शुरू हो चुकी है। ठीक, तो थर्मामीटर भी फेल टू रिकॉर्ड द टेम्परेचर। वो फिक्स टेम्परेचर बताएगा। हम कहेंगे हम हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, थर्मामीटर बताओ कितना टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया। वो कहेगा मेरा तो टेम्परेचर फिक्स है, आप हीट सप्लाई नहीं कर रहे। कहता नहीं, हम तो हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हैं। तो आप हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हो, थर्मामीटर कहता है टेम्परेचर नहीं बढ़ रहा, तो हीट कहाँ जा रही है, वो लेटेंट है, वो छुप छुप के वो स्टेट चेंज कर रही है। तभी उसका नाम ही रख दिया लेटेंट हीट। सो लेटेंट हीट ऑफ फ्यूजन ऑफ आइस means if you want to change the state of 1 gram of ice into 1 gram of water, this will take place at fixed temperature, that is the melting point of ice, that is 0 degree, and you will require 80 calorie of heat. If M is 1, L is 80, okay, latent heat 80. Latent heat means that amount of heat which is required to change the state of 1 gram of the substance from solid to liquid at constant temperature. Yeah, without changing the temperature. If you are changing the state, how much heat is required for 1 gram? That is latent heat of the substance. So if I say latent heat of ice is 80 calorie per gram, it will mean 80 calorie heat is required to change the state of 1 gram ice into 1 gram water, keeping temperature constant. And that constant temperature is melting point.
Yes, sir.
Because change of state will take place at melting point only. And every solid has its own different melting points. Clear? So similarly, if you take this conversion, change of state from liquid to vapor, then again this will take place at a fixed temperature. If you take the case of water,
100 degrees Celsius.
the latent heat of steam. The latent heat of vaporization, or latent heat of steam is 540 calorie per gram. It will means if you take 1 gram water at 100 degree and you want to convert it into 1 gram steam at 100 degree, you require 540 calorie of heat. In this conversion from water to steam, temperature is same. This temperature has to be the boiling point, and boiling point of water is 100 degree. If you take liquid other than water, you must know the boiling point at which temperature change of state will take place. समझ में आया? If you take mercury, boiling point is 357 degree. Mercury will start boiling at 357 degrees Celsius. Then if you want to convert 1 gram of mercury into 1 gram of vapor at 357 degree temperature, so heat required is equal to latent heat. It is different from 540. 540 is only for steam.
Yes, sir.
1 gram पानी का 1 gram steam बनाना है at boiling temperature 100 degree. So 540 calorie of heat is required. So therefore there are two latent heats because there are two change of state. First from solid to liquid, another from liquid to vapor.
सर फिर 0 से कम डिग्री टेम्परेचर का वाटर तो पॉसिबल नहीं है लिक्विड स्टेट में.
0 डिग्री पे आइस बनती है, माइनस डिग्री वाले -5 डिग्री पे क्या फेज होगा, क्या स्टेट होगा? सॉलिड होगा, आइस होगा.
मतलब सर लिक्विड तो हो ही नहीं सकता.
लिक्विड तो फिर 0 के बाद मेल्टिंग शुरू होगी ना. 0 पे पर मेल्टिंग शुरू होनी है. पानी तो 0 पे बनना शुरू होगा. और आपने -5 डिग्री सेल्सियस वाली आइस को हीट सप्लाई की है. ये दो काम करती है. तो आप ये सोचो कि वो हीट जो सप्लाई की है वो क्या काम करेगी. सबसे पहला कौन सा काम करेगी? देयर विल बी चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर.
यस सर.
So how much heat is required? The formula is this. How much ice you have taken? And temperature, present temperature is -5 and you want to convert it into 0 degree. So change in temperature will be 5 degree.
Yes sir.
-5 initial temperature, final temperature 0. The change in temperature 0 minus -5, that is 5 degree. The delta T will be 5. The specific heat of ice is 1/2. What is the unit of specific heat? यहाँ देखो specific heat C is equal to Q over M into specific heat calorie per gram degree Celsius. या joule per kg Kelvin. Which system you are taking? Okay, and all these quantities to be taken in the same unit. If you are taking heat in calorie, you have to take mass in gram, change in temperature. in Celsius. And if you take this heat energy in joule, you take mass in kilo, change in temperature, degree Celsius. Okay. So when there is a change of temperature, how much heat is required to change the temperature of m gram of the substance through delta T? So you will make use of this relation to find out how much heat is required. C is the specific heat of the substance. And if there is a change of state, then how much heat is required? To how much substance you have taken? What is the latent heat of the substance? Okay. And how much heat is required you will get from this relation. Q is equal to m into n. ये ध्यान रखना.
Yes, sir.
While doing numericals, okay, you will have to see whether this numerical is on change of temperature or on change of state or on both.